Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xentora here and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys and talking about some of the most wanted and requested features in Infinite Flight. Now if you're new here, please make sure you do like and subscribe, but yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the video today. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the A380, because what the A380 needs to happen to it is one of the biggest requested features in Infinite Flight, and that's obviously the A380 rework. So, you know, looking at this, we've spoken about it a few times before. This thing needs a rework. It's a little bit below par, I'm afraid, and it is in desperate need of a rework. So hopefully that will be upcoming in a future update. I'm hoping it'll be here by the end of next year. Or hopefully it'll be one of the next things Infinite Flight work on, because I haven't actually done too much research on what they'll be working on next, other than the E-jets. So hopefully the A380 rework will be the thing to come after that, because look at it, the cockpit, it's just, yeah, I wouldn't really call this a cockpit anymore compared to what we've seen recently, and look at the interior, there isn't one. So I think an A380 rework, by far, one of the most requested features. Again, talking about reworks, we can go look at the A340 again. I think that's a highly requested feature as well for rework wise. Maybe not as requested as some of the other stuff in Infinite Flight. However, it is a highly requested rework. Again, just showing you, just look at this aircraft. It's a nice looking aircraft, it's a cool looking aircraft, but the poor thing does need a rework. That's a cool view. There's the engine, so the poor plane needs a rework again. Once again, no interior, if I can even, you know, locate the interior for you all. Yeah, look, nothing in here, just plain empty. We all know that the A340 is in need of a rework. Now, fun fact for you, it's one of my more favourite aircraft we have in Infinite Flight. I genuinely have always been quite a big fan of the A340. It's just a cool, unique little aircraft. That is really cool. Now, quick apology if anyone just heard my cat meowing. The little thing came into my room, decided to make a mess, and now I've just let it out. So sorry about that if anyone heard that. So yeah, A340, again, another highly requested feature. So right now I'm just going through the highly requested reworks. The A330 for 200 isn't as requested for a rework. But something which is requested regarding the 737 family or the 737 family, again another magnificent aircraft, is that it needs an interior. So again, we got the great live cockpit, so I'll just quickly load this up while I show you guys everything else. But unfortunately, some things this aircraft is missing is an interior, and when we look at the doors, so just while they load up, the doors don't open either, unfortunately. So stuff like this are highly requested with regards to the 737, as quite a few people I think would like to see that happen. I know myself, I'd like to see a 737 interior cockpit rework, hopefully in the near future, and that's something I'd personally like to see, because we've got the engines, you know, we've got the aircraft itself looking really good and fresh, but I think an interior cockpit and working doors would be amazing. Now, another feature I'd like to talk to you about is these exit doors. Now, Infinite Flight don't obviously have emergencies yet, whereas I know X-Plane Mobile have that, where you can have engine failures and that. Now, I think a cool addition would be stuff like engine failures or real life things. Obviously not common, but every now and again, you know, your engine blows up, you know, the engine dies, you lose hydraulics, you have a fuel leak. I think stuff like this is important, especially if it's like a tail strike on takeoff. It'd be quite cool to see like how that would affect the plane, or if you're flying too fast, too high, too vigorously, you know, a bit of stress and strain on the aircraft, or you use the rudder too much and the rudder falls off. I think like the realistic scenarios like that would be quite cool. Now, we don't actually even have them in like some of the you know, computer simulators, but I just think it'd be something great and something cool we could see in the mobile flight simulator. Of course, not in the near future, probably in the next 10 years or so, but I think like live emergencies and that, and you could get like, you know, the slides and the stuff to come down on the wing here. I just think that would be a really cool addition for Infinite Flight. So that's again something else that I think will happen. So we got the 737, now the 767. When I read my comments, it's all I ever see at the moment about the 767. I think the 767 and the A380 are the two aircraft which I see requested for reworks in my comment sections the most. So that's really cool. Now I also did see the other day that Infinite Flight have announced that they're introducing the Druk Air, which I mentioned a few weeks ago in one of my videos, being like, oh, I think Infinite Flight should really release this, and I think it'd be a really good addition to allow people flying into Paro, known as one of the world's hardest approaches, depending on your perspective. Personally, I think Innsbruck, in the right conditions, if it's hard enough, can be harder than the approach into Paro. But of course, that's just my opinion. So I think, again, it's really cool that they are adding that. Now, the 767, yeah, it needs a lot of work, this babe. So, okay, again, no interior. The cockpit, we probably shouldn't really talk about the cockpit. Yeah, we're just going to completely ignore that. But that cockpit needs a lot of work. Again, no working doors. As you can see from here, you know, nothing opens up. So there is a lot of work which needs to be done with regards to the 767. But I think quite a lot of people would love to see a full rework on this aircraft, maybe even before an A380 rework, because I feel like it's being put off. But yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about, so we're just going to go somewhere a little bit coastal for the next feature I'd like to talk to you all about. And we can do two for the price of one. So we can get like the caravans and the citation out, which is a citation rework is something I want, but we're going to go in the Embraers, even though the rework isn't here, but we're only getting the E175 reworks, so we'll just hop in the E195 just for this bit and hope there's a gate. Oh, we can spawn on the runway even better. So as we even know, we've got the E175 rework coming up soon. I don't think it'll be out soon, but I do think that F-18 rework will be out in the next few days. My money is it's going to be out on Sunday or Monday, but again, I could be wrong. But as far as I'm aware, beta testing is pretty much over now, and they are near enough just getting ready for release. So it's very exciting for us as players and individuals with Infinite Flight. So here we are, we've loaded up. So the first thing I'll show you, instead of going on to another boring plane, we're going to try and find the ocean. Here it is. Now this is a really big request. So many of you, or some of you who used to play Infinite Flight a good 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I remember that when I used to play all that time ago, Infinite Flight used to have like live water. Now the water itself was pretty cool. Okay, so it was like not 3D, but it was sort of, it just looked a little bit more realistic than this just, you know, this endless thing of blue. I don't know what I've done. And yeah, I'm a bit weird. I've broken my Infinite Flight. Oh, look at all the stars. Right, sorry. Got very distracted. So, Infinite Flight, okay, it used to have like really cool water and it used to be like animated. And I just think if we could see that come back in the future, I think it'd be a great addition. Or maybe in just like lakes and that, if we could see some lakes in Infinite Flight just become a little bit more realistic. But I can understand how laggy it can be. Having live water or animated water with stuff like this. Now again, next thing, the E195, this poor thing needs a rework. So you know, you never know, if a flight might surprise us with a full Embraer family rework. Who knows, because they did release a photo of an aircraft that looked like this, and I thought, oh look, it's an E190. I thought we'd get an E175 rework because they had the overwing exits. It's either a tactical mistake by Infinite Flight or it was a genuine E170 mess up by Infinite Flight. So who knows? But yeah, this thing needs a rework. They are quite atrocious. I'll just show you the cockpit again. Yeah, it's probably best we don't even talk about the cockpit in here because it's a bit nasty. It is a bit nasty. So of course we do then move on to the F-18 coming out in the next few days hopefully, and stuff like the Spitfire and these jets. Everyone's requested reworks on them, not as much though. I've seen the F-16 have a few rework requests and that. So other than that, I think that's quite a few of the main requests I've seen in Infinite Flight. One of the other big ones I've also seen is precipitation, so stuff like rain and storms, which X-Plane Mobile has. That's stuff that I've also seen lots of people ask for in Infinite Flight, and I've spoken about it before as well. It'd be cool if we could have rain and that, because then like the wipers on the 777 would then have a purpose. So I'll just quickly show you in the 777 that we got some wipers, which would be good for rain. So I think stuff like that would definitely increase the realism. Like, of course, we've got clouds now, which have been requested for a long time, but we only have cirrus clouds, I think they're called, the ones we have, which are basically just beta clouds. So I can just show you the clouds. So yeah, so that's the clouds we got at the moment. So they do look really cool, but like when you pass through them, it doesn't give me that bit of, you know, the extra bit of realism, which we all love and we all like to look for. So where? So I've got auto brakes. I'm just actions. There we go. So we got the wipers. So it'd be really cool with like precipitation if we could like get some proper rain. So then, you know, they'd have a purpose, these little wipers, but you can see them moving here, so it does look quite cool. I need to get that extra bit of realism. So other than that though, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Good night.
Find your way into this wonderland, cross the